All right, welcome to another Uncuffed Monday. This is the Failure Stop Podcast channel, the #1 channel where law enforcement, first responders go to be informed and entertained 5 days a week. And we like to kick it off every Monday with something a little bit goofy, a little silly, some society and culture news with comedians, former cop Jay Darrell White and Margaret Owens. And we're going to break down everything that's going on society and culturally. And then on Tuesdays, we got true crime with Kendra and John. And then we have political news with myself, Deadleg, and conservative Anthony. Then we got Thursday sports with Kiefer and John. And then we got a case breakdown with myself and Tyler. And so we got a lot of stuff in the news to break down today. We got the Billie Eilish stuff. We got some Kansas City shooters. Is it racism or not? We got another felon arrested in the whole Kansas City debacle we got to get into. We got Kirk Cameron's new show, Culture's Law, all sorts of things. All this and more on today's Failure to Stop. Hit it, Deadleg. What?
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Now, listen, normally I get through those intros pretty easily, but did you have to do that in the middle of the intro?
What? It got hot in here.
It got hot in here? I'm trying to focus, and you...
What? Focus on.
Listen, what? Where is your hair?
My hair?
Is this... yeah, just take everything off.
No. It's just
Take your hair off, take your beanie off.
Yeah.
Is this G.I. Jane?
Why you? See, if I had a husband or boyfriend, see, I don't got one of them. So yeah. But why you staring so hard, Jerry? Want to touch it?
Well, you can see his reflection in it. What was the Greek god that would like look inside the water and then he saw his reflection and then he never stopped looking at it until he died?
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, that's Jay. Jay's looking. No, seriously, you got a haircut. Is that a fade? Is that like a light fade? What is that?
It's actually all gone. What made you do that? I have alopecia is what the
shit.
That's the same thing that
So I made an alopecia joke to somebody who really has alopecia. I feel like an asshole.
so you okay, I ain't Will Smith.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I have alopecia. So I
Damn, I didn't know you had alopecia.
Yeah, I had.
Why didn't you say anything? Is that like is it like diabetes? Is it like people just don't want to tell other people that they got alopecia? It's like a secret.
Probably don't, because once I did it, a lot of people's in my inbox sending me pictures of them and how long they had, and they was like, "I'm glad you did it." But
So was you? I mean, how long have you had it? Is it something that you're born with?
I don't know. I think it's hereditary, but
bad perm.
Is it a black thing, or do white people get alopecia?
I don't know.
I've seen people with. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know. I kept going by what people were saying.
Yeah.
But I went to dermatologist and he told me what it was. I just told my hair
Oh.
now. But
Oh
The
shit.
lady I was doing comedy with this weekend
Yeah.
in Tennessee, she has it.
There's a lot
She-
going
she
on. Like I feel like a lot just
She-
happened. I didn't even know any of this.
Yeah.
Here we are about to start a show and inform and entertain. And by the way, for our audio listeners, it's like 99% of our listenership. You're really missing out. But there's a bunch of people in the paid YouTube chats. We got Deadleg, Will Cray, last known president, somebody named Hazel with an E, Mur 530. I'm not going to go on for Chris Dreyer forever, but I appreciate you guys. David J. Thanks for guys being in the live chats on the YouTubes. But for those of you who are just listening, you're missing out. Margaret is here, and she just you were wearing like a beanie, weren't you? You were wearing something when you came in here. You didn't come in here all bald like that.
it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, she had, some people cannot rock a bald head.
Yeah, I mean, look,
She has a
good,
perfect shape head.
You really do. You have a really round
Yeah, I
noggin.
mean, it ain't. She ain't got lumps. You ain't
It's
got
caramel
like
in the inside.
pack of heart.
It's
a hot dog meat in the back.
Oh, I do
Now,
got the
some
preacher
people-
roll though. I got the
Okay, you got
little,
one.
which is your occipital bone. I can't see it right, but everybody got one. But mine's like
Okay.
right there.
But yeah,
Dude, so when I shave my head for the military, I've got like a thing where I think they sucked me out of my mom's womb. Remember back in the day they used to like use the clamps or whatever? So I got like a little
Like a little.
like it looks like a cone head. Yeah, like a little horn. Yeah, like a cone head. So if I get alopecia, well, I'm fucked. But you know what I've got? I got gray hairs, dude. Every time I get a haircut, it's just like more gray hair showing through.
that's how I do
Yeah,
when
they
you
said-
cut.
yeah.
Yeah. when you shave.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop getting haircuts haircuts. I don't want any more gray hairs. But no, you look great, though. You look good. You look good tonight.
Thank you. It's more room in here too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got more room.
I ain't backed all up trying to,
So wait, so do you normally wear a wig?
Yeah, so,
I mean,
I would take my hair. Like I said, it was long, but it just won't right there, and I would braid it back, and then I would put a wig cap on, and then put the wig on, so that somebody try to pull it, it won't actually just slide off.
I got you.
Yeah, so
I got you. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Do most black women that wear wigs, do they have alopecia? They just wear wigs just to wear them.
They just want longer hair.
Yeah.
I got you.
Texture looking hair, different color hair.
It's pretty popular, man. Like I never know anymore when if black people it's their real hair or not, because there's so many wigs.
Even dudes now, you can't even really tell.
Really, dudes are into wigs? I didn't know that. Who's wearing wigs?
They can do like his, and you don't even know it.
You're not wearing a wig.
This is my hair, but I'm saying there are guys that can't grow it or whatever.
He's like a toupee.
No, they don't put no toupee. They will actually cut that spot, and they'll blend in what they already have. They'll put it, find the same type of hair texture or whatever.
You know what bothers me though is when dudes color their hair too much.
Oh yes,
that shit bothers me. Listen, like I think like when you're like 41 years old and you've got like oil slick black hair and you could see the dye, like the dye on their scalp. Like, dude, what is your problem? Like, don't be such a girl about it. Just let your grays fly, bro.
With black dudes, our barbers do hair fibers to try to fill in.
Right.
And then they will blacken the hairline, make your edge look crisp.
Okay.
That's what some of they do. I stopped having. They used to do my face.
Yeah.
He used to do my face after he trimmed me up. He would spray my face, and it will be black.
Really? Oh, I don't like that.
Because I was like, nah, man. Is this dye? Is my hair gonna be black? He was like, yeah, it will, but don't wash your face. What?
No.
I wash my face. Don't get caught in the rain. Don't be looking up in the sky and all that. And no, man. So I told him, I said, I want it to be gray, salt and pepper. So I just let it grow. Cut it off and it grow back gray, Yeah.
Gray is in now.
Yeah, I mean, gray should always be in. Who was it? George Clooney back in the day. He was always rocking those grays. All the women loved him back in the day. Speaking of George Clooney and celebrities, let's jump in our first article tonight. We got Billie Eilish can't deal with all the TikTok influencers at the A-list celebrity party. This is coming from TMZ. Listen, I don't usually use TMZ as like my big go-to thing for the news. And listen, I get you. You're in your me wagon, you're in your patrol car, and you're like, dude, Tansy, what are you doing, dude? Nobody cares. Some take a ride to the domestic shelter to drop the girl off, and you got to be able to relate to her somehow. And Billy, plus we have women that listen to the show. Actually, I think we're up to 28% female listeners now. It's probably due to Margaret. Mostly on Monday. Of course, Kendra J. Rama brings up some of the girls, but Billie Eilish is from TMZ seemed to speak some truth at the People's Choice Awards this weekend, namely openly wondering why a bunch of social media stars were among real A-list celebrities. Now, listen, when I saw this article, I went and watched the video of where it comes from. And so all of the people at the People's Choice Awards start screaming and cheering. And so everybody at the dinner table is like, what are they cheering about? And Billie Eilish leans over and she's like, oh, is that one of those like TikTokers? Now, listen, I look at Billie Eilish and she looks like she just kind of has resting bitch face. She probably didn't mean for it to come across bitchy. It's kind of like when people think, because my comedy is so passionate, some people think I'm like really mad at stuff. I'm not really mad. It's just my act. It's my gimmick. But I don't know. You got the video. Play the video really quick for all of our YouTubers. Cupcakes, cameos, just joined us. Billie Eilish in the black. She's like, you really already hear it. And she's like, what are all these TikTokers doing here? And I think he's king and queen, just being a little bit more salacious. She doesn't look that bitchy to me. She doesn't really look that bitchy. Sorry, I could have put that on the big screen for you guys. We got a new big screen in here, monitor, and we're just now learning how to use it. So I apologize to all of our listeners out there. But here's the argument though. Are TikTokers real A-list celebrities? I just came off of a TV series set, Office Joe. This is being made by the Article 15 dudes, Drinking Bros guys. You got Vincent Vargas Rocco is on there. All the guys from Diesel Jack, Ranger Up, Tim Kennedy. But the whole series, the TV series, only has a handful of real actors, and the rest are influencers making cameos in every episode, because it's actually a really creative show. The show is about a veteran that goes into he gets out of the military and he gets a job at a social media influencing firm, like where they manage influencers. So all these real life influencers, not actors, are coming into this TV series firm. It's a very creative idea, to be honest with you. So I was on set, and while I was on set, there were, I don't know, there were so many influencers that I recognized. Mandatory Fun Day, Jack Mandeville was on set, Jared Taylor was on set, and I didn't know who the actors were on set, but I knew who all the influencers were on set. So I guess my thing is, are influencers the new A-listers?
It's like this. It's funny, ironic that we're talking about this today. I just got off the road. Just came in from a gig with
because you were on the road, by the way, doing comedy all around the United States. You were in Nashville and everything else.
She's a TikToker, social media,
Who
Instagram, Heather Land.
Yeah, Heather Land.
She have millions of followers.
Right.
She sells out theaters.
Right.
I did a theater. We had over 350 people, about between 300 and 400. I'll leave it at that.
Right.
At this theater that we was at Saturday. None of them didn't know who I was.
Right.
But I left there. By the time I left there, they know. And they following me. They started hitting me up about my merchandise and stuff because they want to know that they saw me. They fell in love with me. They know.
Because you texted me how much money you made on merch. I was shocked. I was like, "Yo, good for you!"
What? And it was amazing.
Did you crush?
What? I said, "Look, put it."
Wait, what was the audience? White or black? White people?
So
you got the diversity laughs,
right?
Fair.
I said diversity.
No, they laugh because you're black.
They laugh because
if they don't, they're racist.
One, they laugh because you funny.
No,
they laugh
not Jay. Like, we know Jay's not funny in real life. Those are diversity laughs. I'm just kidding. I'm
just saying what I did was as a comedian. Believe it or not, there's a lot of black comedians that can't do a black room. And for y'all out there wondering what they mean by black room, when your audience is predominantly African American, there are African American comedians who cannot make African Americans laugh, but they can go into a room full of Asians or Caucasians, and their jokes will make them laugh all day long.
Do you want to know why?
Me, I can go in any room.
Yeah, but that's because you joke like when you're in front of your black crowd, you make white jokes like a white person though. Like you even your tone of voice changes. No. Yeah. So like Chris Tucker. Yeah, Chris Rock, right? Like the only reason he's funny to white people is because he's so over the top black. Like, yeah, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, does like that whole thing.
No, we think he's corny though.
I know black people think he's corny.
What?
The reason why white people think it's funny is because he's over the top black. Black people don't like him because he's over the top black. So when you're in front of a black crowd, you actually tone down your blackness for your black crowd.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You don't talk like that. You don't even go like that. You don't even go like, no, I don't. You don't even talk like that.
I'm the same.
You talk just like that.
My material is relatable.
I've listened to
everybody.
It's not the material; it's the way you present your material.
Well, yeah, in a way, but this crowd was
because white people sound funny to black people.
The ages there was I think the oldest lady was like 80 years old, and the youngest girl was 22.
How do you know these things?
Because I asked. See, that's the thing. I get out there after the show and meet and greet, shake hands.
You ask them their age?
Thank you.
You see a woman, you're like, how old are you?
I seen an older lady. Ma'am, how old are you? I can't believe I have an 80-year-old fan like that. Damn. Young girl, my birthday is tomorrow. She was drunk off her ass. But
did you sign her boobies?
No, her parents was there.
That's the reason.
But I was like, how old are you?
Margaret, do you do that when you get off stage?
What?
To go and ask people their age?
No, that's the age. I mingle with them and stuff. But
yeah, you mean and talk.
If somebody looks older or they look really young, I'm like, how old are you?
Do you guys feel weird when you sit in the green room?
I'd
rather not be in the green room.
Yeah.
I want to be out and listen to the other comedians.
Well, I'll sneak off to the side, and I don't want to be in the crowd or nothing like that.
Right.
That's why it's so important to have a green room, because that's my time where I, say my little prayer.
Yeah.
Drink of water. I get ready.
Yeah, but if I'm in the green room and I'm by myself in there, like the other comedians are like either, because I'm usually last. So a comedian will go up and then they leave. You'll never see them again. So like by the time the last comedian gets there, I'm just in there by myself. And then it's like I get all in my headspace, and I'm like, man, this sucks.
That's an open mic, then. It's not like open mic, doesn't it?
Huh?
You talking about?
Well, I was last with the Vinny Monta. Yeah, well, no,
the comedians.
Yeah, the comedians leave. They don't go back to the green room after they're done. So I'm just sitting there by myself, and I'm like, fuck, wish I could be hanging out with all the other people.
It really depends who you with.
So do you think TikTokers and influencers are A-list celebrities now?
I'm like this. if they have a large following, one, if they're getting paid and they are putting out the work and they're being known, if they can be recognized, if we was to take a TikToker off of Facebook and we advertise him that they come into the distillery, we doing a show with what's name, and we put his posters out, we put it on social media, whatever, and we sell out. We say
like the Hodge
we only have
twins.
150 seats where we get 300. So now, Eric, we're gonna have to do a second show. This person is famous or they're popular. Then when they get here, if they have merchandise, people selling their merchandise and stuff. They're getting pictures with them. To me, A-list celebrities, I've been told, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't brag about it, nothing. I use it as I try to be humble and try to keep on working it because my bank account don't say what they have in theirs. Right. But I've had people tell me, Jay, man, you work with such and such, but you just as funny as they are.
Oh yeah,
God.
I mean,
you started off the show on fire, and it just got better. But you the truth, and I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. In my mind, I'm still gonna keep working on it, but I'm feeling good inside because people see me. I can hold my own, and then when I even
but like these guys, TikTokers and stuff
wouldn't be here if we didn't think that.
These TikTokers now have like agents and shit. Yeah. Like, I mean, like every
Country Wayne. I actually worked with Country Wayne when he was getting like $3,500 a show. Now, it's gonna cost you about 100,000 to get him to do a show now. This guy is big. He done already made over 20 million on social media platforms.
So do you think that social media influencers are A-list celebrities? Yeah. Should they be treated the same?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think so too.
And working.
Yeah. And I think they're more relevant. Like I know more about conservative Anthony's content because I see it 2 times a day. By the way, conservative Ant, we do the political news with him. He's got 1.4 million, maybe more than that now. I know when we brought him onto the C- Media Network, he was at 1.4 million, but he grows every day. So I don't know what he's at now, but I know he posts so much content, and wherever we went, like when I hang out with conservative Ant, it's just like when I hang out with you, but people know him, like we went to the gas station, like, can I get my picture with you? We went to the UFC fight. I mean, not the UFC, we went to the Valor Bare Knuckle fight in Jacksonville, Florida. And we stayed with Ken Shamrock in Ken Shamrock's suite with the whole crew. And it was really great. But while we were up there with Ken Shamrock, I mean, there were equally as many people trying to get their pictures taken with conservative Ant than anybody else. And so I was like, to me, like I went to a boxing match with Chuck Liddell and Michael Irvin was there, and Chuck would like venture outside the suite, and obviously he's an A-list celebrity. I mean, I think, right? Is Chuck Liddell considered an A-list celebrity?
Legend.
I mean, legend, but it's the same way, it's the same vibe. So I think I maybe Hollywood doesn't like it. Maybe Billie Eilish. I saw this video. I'm going to be fair. I don't think Billie Eilish did not like it. I think it's a little unfair that TMZ blows it up like this. Like they're making it a big idea. Like they're making it a big deal. And like this was headlines of TMZ. But when you watch the video, it's not really a headline. Billie Eilish doesn't really look like she just genuinely looks like who just walked in here? Why is everybody cheering? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not offended by it as a peasant myself. I don't know. You guys saw it.
I told Heather, I said I was on my way to the VA hospital. I had a dentist appointment, and I get a phone call out of Tennessee, and this was a Tennessee promoter, and he asked me. He said, "Hey, you came highly recommended. We want to see if you was available to open for Heather Land." I said, "Where?" He said, "In Clayton." I said, "Oh, shit. My hometown." He said, 600 seater. It's almost sold out. And you became highly recommended because we were looking for an opener for her. Right. She don't have her own, And I had to put him on speaker and started, what's her name again? Because I didn't know who she was.
Well, I was talking to like, when I was doing this whole thing, they were talking about some stand-up comedian. Ashley Guttermuth was there, and her agent was there, and she manages a bunch of comedians. And I thought it was interesting that they're like, like, some people get, like a lot of comedians get kicked off the tour. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they'll go on tour and then people just don't want to put up with their shit or they're just late or, you know what I mean? Like things happen. Right. So like, I can understand why Heather Land doesn't want to travel with a bunch of comedians because.
See, and my thing was when I looked her up and found out, I said, okay, one, she's a beautiful lady. Then I started looking at her YouTube videos. I said, she's funny. She's Southern. I'm Southern, you know. I said, that would be a good thing. A black male comedian opening for a white female. With our styles is just a tad bit different.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not stepping on each other's jokes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So I said, that'll work. I said, yeah, I'll be available and whatever. Sold that place out. Place had over 600 people. And that's what I told her. I said, you came to my town.
Yeah.
And sold out a show. I had that was 600 white people I've never seen before.
In your town.
600 white people who don't know who I am in my hometown where I was born and raised.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's harder. It's harder to sell tickets for yourself in your own town.
They're not like a Amy Schumer or somebody that been in movies and stuff. She, got
TikTok famous.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok famous, baby.
But she's been doing stand-up comedy for about 7 years now. So when she started doing the Instagram, the Facebook, and all that stuff, she started going on stage and started telling jokes. She got books out. She's a singer. She's she's multi-talented. And after I rocked the stage in my hometown in front of 300 people I didn't know or didn't know me, she got my information. Not her manager, not the booker. She, it was like a personal relationship. She was like, you good, I like you. So the next opportunity came, she reached out and texted me and I accepted. And I'm glad I did. I won't.
Was it more fun traveling with her than it was like on some of the bigger shows that you've done?
Yeah. It was, because she is funny, even though I've been in the game a lot longer than she have. And there's no way I'm jealous of her success or her followers and all that. And like I told her, I said, I want to get to where you at, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I said, I need to do some more skits. I need to do I even have some filters that I've done and posted.
We used to do them all the time back in the early days, like 5-6 years ago.
I said, I want to get where you at. And she said, you so multi-talented. Oh my God. And she wants to work with me more. And that made me feel like, okay, I'm doing something right. It's my time to step it up, keep going. And when I left, I tell you, other than them mountains and that drive,
I love that drive to Nashville, dude.
I ride in Nashville, but I won't drive there.
Yeah, I ride, and even if I'm riding, we still got to stop.
When's your next show, Margaret?
I got to do something Sunday for a church.
Do some church comedy.
But it'd be my character.
Oh, your character, yeah. Does your character have a wig, or is your character going to be bald now?
Wig, before I leave, I'm gonna take it, snatch it off, and throw it in. I might, but it's gonna have a wig.
But you know what? That's
do you make jokes? Do you make alopecia jokes?
No, I haven't. No, I never thought about it.
Are you going to?
I don't know. It's gonna be tasteful if I do.
Well, yeah, of course.
Just joke about your experience.
Yeah, this person said that one lady said that a man said, what can he do for her? And she said he ain't done nothing until he snatched your wig off and lick her bald head. So I was like,
oh my God.
Before I was like, oh my God. So that is kind of
there's some jokes there. There's some jokes there.
I mean, not no jokes like talking about nobody, but yeah.
Well, no, I feel free. Said like, you feel free.
Free. It's like, but I do get up. I forgot my wig, and I'm like, I ain't gotta wear the wig.
Yeah. Does anybody say anything? Just like little kids, probably.
So this is what happens.
I want to guarantee you, like, I would have to go warn my kids first. I'll be like, look, Margaret's here and she's bald, and nobody say anything about it.
My son made jokes on me. He told me I look like Michael Jordan. He looked like Michael Jordan. And then I was
doing something. I see it.
And, I was moving something. He said, I'm gonna move it for you. And so every time he would come, I would like stop, like I was like posing up. And he was like, no, post up again. You like the handyman. That's okay. He was like, you Uncle Bishop can go get turtle waxes together. I said, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I was like, but he told me he was just, just joking there.
So I mean, those sound like some really good jokes that you could use in your own show.
Yeah. My when I go out or whatever, I don't like, I'm gonna keep my head on. I walk in there just like my head being bald forever. And I don't look at people's faces and they look at me just like they just
more, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people think when they see a woman bald head, that it's not a choice. It's that they are surviving cancer patients.
Oh yeah, I bet you get all the cancer stuff.
My mom had cancer. She had to cut off all her good hair and everything. She started wearing wigs. But my mom was wearing wigs. She didn't do the weave or anything like that. But she every now and then, when she wanted to do her hair, she had to do a wig. But when she had to go through her chemotherapy and the treatments and stuff, she went bald.
To be honest with you, when you took it off, like that, I was thinking cancer. And I was like, Margaret, God, you didn't tell me.
My best friend said her brother called.
So I was like,
she got cancer. Like, no, look at the videos on there. I had one person and asked me, was that the video I showed you? Was that my hair? And I'm like, why would I put tracks in my head just to cut them out?
Yeah.
And so people talk like that. But I went to the Sweet Frog the other day. I don't know if y'all saw.
What the fuck? What?
Sweet Frog.
What's a Sweet Frog?
Sweet Frog is a yogurt place.
Oh.
And so I got it because where I was going, I didn't want to eat a lot, so I would eat Sweet Frog, but I didn't want to eat all of it because I want my sugar to go right. And so when I went to Sweet Frog, it was a guy, his lady, they went in, and so when I grabbed the door, he held it for me, but he didn't look at me, kind of like peripheral vision. And I said, "Thank you." He said, "You're welcome, sir." And I said, "I'm a female." He said, "Oh." And I said, "It's okay." And so we went on in to get all of the cups. And so
I bet he felt like shit.
I waited a little bit. He just saw me out these right. So he kind of like caught right back there. So when I got closer to him, I said, "Hey," I said, "that peripheral will mess you up every time." He was like, "Yeah." He's always trying to be respectful. He's like, "I just saw you out there." I said, "Okay, though." Yeah. Then I had a little girl. She was staring, but it wasn't bad. It was like squeezing, I was trying to get some earrings.
You can't blame a kid though.
And she was like she was 13. She was saying like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I was trying to look that smile, and I kept going.
I mean,
because like my kids would definitely say, like my 6-year-old would say some shit. Like he wouldn't be not to be mean. He'd just be like, "Why is your head bald?" You know what I mean? And I'd be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, let me tell you.
Yeah, like because if he hasn't warned, like the first time he saw a midget, he was like, "Dad, look how little that guy is. He's like a man, but he's little." And I was like, "Shh, shh." And he was like, "No, I'm serious." And the guy was like trying to walk away. And he's like, "Dad, look at him. He has like a beard and he's old." You know, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up, man." Well, listen, TikTok stars, you can let us know in the chats, man. If you guys think that TikTokers and Instagrammers and influencers, are they A-list celebrities? Should they be able to sit? Or are they just peasants? Like all of us, I like to see myself as a peasant. But listen, I've been to lots of influencer parties and influencer stuff and games and got to be invited and it's so much fun, man. Okay. I don't really know. I've never really sat and been like, is that an A-list celebrity? Like I don't really care.
What is the definition of an A-list?
I don't fucking know.
C-list.
No.
I mean,
like this. If Tom Cruise was going to be at something, or I mean, he's not even a great actor, like Mel Gibson or something like that. I mean, I guess Tom Cruise is a great actor, but like, I don't know, like somebody that I like, maybe like Mel Gibson. But if I had the chance to go meet Mel Gibson or go meet Mandatory Fun Day, I would go meet Mandatory Fun Day.
I don't know who that is.
He's like a big military influencer right now. You know,
but
he's great. But I mean, I think he's funny. I think he's hilarious. He's relatable, and I enjoyed hanging out with him once before. But even if I hadn't hung out with him before, I would still rather meet him. Because I watch their content so much that I want to know the person. You know what I mean? It's like there's probably like Christian and Sagar, or like when I went and met Tim Pool for the first time, I was like, I mean, I'm not saying starstruck, but I was like, holy shit, like I'm at Tim Pool's house, like this is crazy. I mean, and I think Tim Pool is cooler than Tom Cruise. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you one.
Like if I had an option to go to Tom Cruise's house or Tim Pool's house, I go to Tim Pool's house every time.
I'll give you a good one. I went to a Monique comedy show.
Yeah.
Live comedy show. I wasn't thinking about going to Monique because she has a little beef going on with one of my OGs.
Right.
D.L. Hughley, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and say, man, I don't care. Yeah, they have they beef against each other. And one would think, well, if you team DL, why would you go support her? I didn't go to support Monique. I went to support the two comedians that was on the show with her that came out, that hosted and opened. I know one of them.
Yeah.
Tone X down there in Charlotte. So he was up here. I wanted to come see them. Yeah, I mean, Monique was there. She was the headliner and she did her little rant and raving and all that stuff. I ain't really laugh at her. I left at two people I knew and I was supporting them.
Yeah.
And so happened she was there. They was there with an A-lister. Big, celebrity.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, but like how
funny and she was.
How relevant is Billie Eilish? Like, I mean, I haven't heard Billie. Yeah, exactly. Like, I wouldn't be able to name one song that Billie Eilish plays. I mean, I'm sure I've heard it, but I wouldn't go like, oh, that's Billie Eilish. I'd be like, oh, this is a good song. I don't know who plays it, but
shade at TikTokers, but she's a singer, right?
Huh?
Billie, she's a singer.
Yeah, I think Billie Eilish is a singer.
But see, that's what I'm saying, and.
That's how much research I've done on her.
Probably, if they like her, if she's famous enough, they might use her song to, sing. Or
well, I mean, I'm sure I've probably done it.
But she's,
and so here it says on the TMZ, it says Billie could be heard noting that there was some TikTok heads over there. Quote, she then grimaces, shakes her head. I didn't see the grimace though, and says something to the effect of, I don't need it. Now, in terms of who exactly Billy might have been referring to, there's only a handful of sections. Again, this might be TMZ just trying to be, trying to start shit. TMZ likes to start shit. I didn't really get that from the video. I think, listen, if you're at a table, it's cool to like wonder. I mean, and listen, maybe, Billie Eilish, she's like a true artist, right? Like she's probably had voice coaching and music coaching, and she's had to really put in her dues, and it probably does suck to do that much work and then know that there's some other influencers out there making close to the same amount without having to do half the work.
But you have to think though, TikToking is probably the same as American Idol. You're just not doing it.
Sure.
It's on TV,
right?
You got to go through the stuff. There's been Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
He was discovered on YouTube. Usher found him.
Yeah.
Usher people found him, brought him to Usher. Usher saw him, reach out to him, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's so many, just like movies, films. There's movies and films.
Dude, I watched a great movie.
Found us.
I watched a great movie yesterday, last night. It's called Old Henry. I didn't know not one fucking actor in that movie I could have told you I've ever seen before in my whole life.
Good.
Great movie. Yeah. Fantastic movie. If you haven't seen Old Henry yet, it's streaming. It's really good. Crazy, like M. Night Shyamalan style twist that you'll never see coming at the end of the movie. Really great. Really well done. And I didn't know a single actor in the film. Now, the main actor, I have seen him in other films, but he's always been in Westerns, and he's always been like the nobody at the saloon. Like I would never know his name or be able to even name you movies that he's been in. I just know that he's been in only Westerns.
Now that you talk about it, there's quite a few influencers that have been big. Tyler Perry has put a few of them in his movie.
Oh yeah. Is it K-Wayne? No, it's K-Wayne. The one with the purple hair.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and then he put the girl Kristen, the skin. She's skinny and she in the church and she be falling out, always passing out. Had her in his movies. And that's what I said.
So I think you got to respect kind of the influencers. I know a lot of people like, my dad for whatever, when I invite him to some of these things, he's like, well, I don't know who any of these people are. I've never seen him in any movie. I'm like, well, you also don't social media, you know what I mean? So like, but yeah, whatever. I treat influencers like they're A-list celebrities because to me, they are A-list celebrities.
Could it be considered a form of jealousy when people like when they say like you say she had to go through all this stuff and this person pops up? Because if this person went through it for years and then they come on the scene and only been out there 2 years, they shouldn't have to water down their stuff because they don't want nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I look at it as like when I talk to the old school cats. I remember when I came out of high school in 91, 92. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a cell phone.
Hell no.
The cell phone we had was in a bag.
Yeah.
And you hooked it up.
Well, I didn't get a cell phone until I was 23.
About that.
Yeah, I didn't get a cell phone until I was 23.
And it was a bag phone that you hooked up in your phone in your car. We had pages. I was a grown man.
Oh, yeah, I had a page.
Between the ages of 18 and 21, I had a little page. I get a page. I had to go to a landline or a phone booth. They was out. And call. Hello, you call my number.
But I mean, like, there's certain celebrities, A-list celebrities that do crush it on social media. Josh Brolin, dude, he was for a while, he was crushing on social media. He's been in a bunch of movies recently, so I don't think maybe he's had time because his social media died down. But I mean, it's like he took advantage of the social media and rocked it and rolled it and did a great job. There's a couple other celebrities out there that are doing a great job with celebrity, and I think it all comes back to just you're an entertainer, whether you're a musician, whether you're an influencer, it's all about entertaining and how can I entertain other people. And if you're good at it and people are entertained by you, you're A-list in my book. Moving on to the next article, we got just speaking of celebrities, we got Kirk Cameron. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because I want to dive right into this whole Kansas City shooting, and I'm not going to get into it right this second, but the Kansas City shooting, there's a big argument out there right now that the suspects aren't being released, no information is being released. Yes, but there's an argument that Kyle Rittenhouse. So again, in old American fashion, 17. But in old, in American fashion, we have to make it about race because we're so close to an election. So we've got to make it about race. We got to make it about race. So we'll talk about it. We'll debate it. And but before we get into it, because I think it's an important conversation that everybody's having. It's blowing up the X's and the Twitters right now. So we have to talk about it whether we want to or not. But Kirk Cameron, you guys remember Kirk Cameron? Yeah. Kirk Cameron. Yeah, and he's real big into children, but they're coming out with a new TV series, kind of inspired by Mr. Rogers. So this is new trending news. This is like as of today. It's starting to make its way around it. Kirk Cameron announces this innovative new TV series, says America's parents are sickened by woke Hollywood. This is I thought what was cool about the article, though, quickly was that he says that it's time to take kids out of politics and stop politicizing the kids. And you know what? It's crazy because I've been watching some cartoons with my kids, and they are super overly politicized, and they don't make sense. Like, you have an Asian mom and a black dad and a white son and an Asian daughter. And it's like, no fucking family dynamic is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shit, they ain't never been in the arm header.
That's it.
Well played. Yeah, well played. Yeah. So anyway, I think it's cool that he's going to go back to the old school ways, but the series is going to be called Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk. Maybe it's not important to you, but look, if you're one of those first responders that's got like 5 kids like I do, this might be something you want to look out for. Look, I've always been a Kirk Cameron fan. He survived Hollywood. He's done really great things with the communities around him. He's donated tons of money, made countless films with good, wholesome messages. And listen, that's not the norm. That's going against the grain of Hollywood when everybody around you is making the sleaziest and the scuzziest stuff, and making the most money. It's got to be hard to be a Kirk Cameron who wants to make religious-based film. That's why I've always had Kevin Soros doing the same thing. Remember Hercules, Kevin Soros? Xena, Warrior Princess, him and Xena went on to do Spartacus and showing her titties and doing all the other things. Listen, I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I'm sure it's hard to kind of take a moral high road, if you will, and try. Well, I couldn't do it. Listen, if I was in Hollywood and you wanted me to do some kind of slutty, skeezy film, I would do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm a sleazebag at heart. I'm not a James Cameron, but I respect people like him.
Another man?
No, I won't. No,
you wouldn't get in the bed. You wouldn't.
No, listen.
Him butt fucking you.
No, if it was for comedy, if it was for something funny, and it was a skit that was funny that I kind of planned or I wrote out to make it just so awkward, this film wouldn't be funny without this scene. I would do it. Now, I wouldn't add a gay scene, a kissing scene in to make the film funny. Right. But like there are some stupid, like for instance, Jared Taylor and Jack Mandeville made a video for Veterans Day. And so it's like 2 veterans are sitting in their shorts and they're sitting there watching TV and they got their cereal. And so they're wearing Ranger panties, because they're both military veterans. And Jared Taylor sits down at Jack Mandeville and they got, no shirts on and just Ranger panties and their bowl of cereal, just like any 2 dudes living together would do.
Is that Duns?
They're just shorty shorts.
Okay.
Like PT shorts, like
okay. Like
just shorts. Like gym shorts that are short.
Okay, it's not Fruit of the Looms.
No. They're like Sophies. They're like silkies.
I got you.
Yeah, they're like just real short. And so he's like, "Oh, hey man, it's Veterans Day." And he's like, "Thank you for your service." Yeah, these are Ranger panties right here. Bring them up on the stream for everybody to see that those are Ranger panties.
Oh, we call them boy shorts. Females call them boy shorts.
Okay, well there you go. Well, they're just real shorts. And so he says, he's like, "Happy Veterans Day," and he's like, "Oh, dude, Happy Veterans Day." And he's like, "No, Happy Veterans Day," and he's like, "No, Happy Veterans Day to you." And they keep getting closer and closer. He's like, "Happy," and then the next scene is like them in the shower. He's like, "Oh, Happy Veterans Day. Oh, Happy Veterans Day," and it's like all foggy and it's just super gay, and then it's over. But it was so funny. I was crying. Yeah, you don't see it, but I was crying through the whole thing, and I thought that was like really, really funny. And so if it was something like that over the top, I would probably consider it. But like if you're just writing in a gay scene just because you need to check the blocks, I'm not fucking doing that. Like fuck it.
But you know what? I know we call it Hollywood. They do that. They do it so much now.
Well, it's like they're trying too hard. It's like we have to put one of every race in there, and we have to put a gay person in there, and then they just like ram it down your throat to where it's like it takes away from the film. Like I was just watching a great series the other day, black lead actor. I'm forgetting the series now because it's been I told you to watch it though. This was like months ago. Star black actor, great series. Everything's going really well. And then it comes out that one of these, there's a whole episode where two of the characters are gay. And it literally diverts from the whole series just to show the history and lineages of why these two dudes are gay and how they become gay. And then they die at the end of the episode and they don't mention gay the rest of the thing. So it's like literally they just put the gays in there just to check a block. And I was like, you know what? That was the worst episode. It all felt that it was like being rammed down my throat. It felt forced. It wasn't natural. And it was fucking
just like
just a
the
waste.
show Empire with Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I watched it a couple times. But when
I liked it because he was hardcore. Cookie, Taraji was hardcore as well. They had 3 sons. The oldest son, he was bipolar. They show he had mental health issues.
Right.
The middle son was gay. He was a great singer though.
Okay.
The one that
love a man. I stopped watching it.
The way the dude, the oldest one that had mental issues, but he was smart business wise,
Right.
money and stuff.
So he's autistic.
But yeah, he was really, you know, the youngest one wanted to be a thug woman, manipulative. He was just, you know, like that. So all 3 of them had dynamic character. You know, you like, you want to go dip into his story a little bit. And you know, one being
move
gay,
that mic out because when you move,
you
in
knew
front of the
one
mic-
want to be gay. The one that was gay, it seemed like, okay, show us he gay. All right, then let's move on.
Right.
The name of this show is more of the family dynamic,
Right.
music,
Right.
industry and stuff.
Empire. Yeah.
But they took his character, and it seemed like every episode he butt naked laying in the bed with a man.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
like,
a
yo,
producer.
what the fuck? So like Game of Thrones, I
doing?
always thought was good because, you know, like they got the brother and sister fucking, which is creepy and weird. They got
Yeah,
the
well.
gays fucking, but then they got the normal hot people. But like they just kind of sprinkled it in
Right.
for like shock value.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it did. You were like, Jesus. But they
Right.
weren't like forcing like an agenda
And
of
like
weird
every
shit.
every
Yeah,
episode,
you know,
he was
so-
in there sucking a dick. And you're like, dang.
Oh, wait. What was the name of this? What was the name of this series?
Empire.
Yeah, I just for research purposes.
But it
of
just
course.
got, it didn't look, and this is the funny thing. He done went and told that lie about, you know, with got beat down in Chicago 2 o'clock in the morning and all that. And they end up counting, all right, show got to go.
Yeah.
Because they end up
Was he the
firing
gay
his tail.
character?
No.
Jesse Smollett was the gay
That
character?
was him.
Fuck, man.
They end up, no, he's gone.
All right, before we go on to this next article, which is the most important article we got to get into today, which is this whole Kansas City thing. Is it racism? Is it more of the politics trying to force us all to be racist? You know, we'll talk about it and then let you be the judge about it. Before we do that, though, today's show is brought to you by ghostbed.com/Wolfpack. Sleep so good. It's scary. Listen, you know, we dive through the news all the week. We see some crazy shit. You're a first responder. You see even crazier shit. It's really important to get a good night's sleep. I always say mental wellness, mental health starts with a good night's sleep. That's why we're proud to sponsor with ghostbed.com right now. Still 50% off. Am I correct on that? Did they not remove it for the Valentine's Day thing? It went from 40 to 50% after Christmas. And then like I was on the site earlier this morning and it still looked like 50% on the site. Yeah, 50% off of all mattresses. They did change it a little bit. 50% off it, so it's not site wide. Oh no, it says use code Wolfpack and get 50% off site wide. So shit, still going. Listen, that means that cooling mattresses, the cooling sheets. I don't know when this is going to run out. So if if you're a big supporter, listen, GhostBed has been the most loyal of sponsors for our show. They've been with us since day one. They've hooked up Conservative Anthony. They help fund some of the stuff that we do. We got to go to Florida and meet up with them and see the facility. These are beds made in the good old USA. And so if you want to support law enforcement, you want to get a good night's sleep, head over to GhostBed. Listen, 0% down, 0% finance. That's if you have state trooper credit. We got factormeals.com. Listen, Jay, you're up on them Factor meals. How was your first couple weeks of Factor meals?
Pretty good.
Loving it?
Yeah. Hey,
your dad still stealing them from you?
no, Oliver is my Uncle Oliver.
Oh, your Uncle Oliver
likes
still
me. He
raiding
really
them?
likes me. I share it.
Yeah,
know,
you
I get my
share.
sister.
I hate sharing.
She took one to work and she was like, oh, I ate one that was full because she carried a big
Yeah,
old lunch
dude,
pail.
they're like
I told
they look kind of small, and you're like, oh, that is not gonna feed me. But then you eat it, and you're like, damn, because they have like 50 grams of protein, in those protein heavy ones, dude. It'll fill you up.
I
Listen,
like the
100.
green beans.
Oh yeah, the green beans are good. They're all
what's funny
buttery.
about it is stuff that I probably wouldn't eat. You know, the meat, yes, but the trimmings, the cauliflower.
Oh yeah,
and
but
they
they're
have
so
different
good
names
with the
to it. You're like,
cheeses in
what? Yeah.
Yeah,
Cheesy
the rice
cabbage, the
pilaf
cheesy
and all this
cabbage.
stuff.
I'm like, what does this taste like?
But it's great.
Good, yeah.
It's great. Listen, right now they got the shakes, they got the juices, they got the breakfast shakes, they got breakfast on there now. What we're talking about is meal planning to the next level. If you haven't figured it out yet, these are fresh, never frozen, chef prepared meals delivered right to your front door so that you don't have to go to the grocery store and do all the damn meal planning. These are just right to your door. You go onto the website. You can do calorie conscious if you're trying to lose weight, protein heavy if you're trying to gain weight. A lot of people I know are up on these factor meals. Don't go into your precinct or your fire station or whatever it is eating spam and bologna and PBJs like a peasant. Step your game up. Listen, at the end of the day, factor meals, by the time you go to the grocery, waste all the gas, go in there and bag all the time, bring it there, cook it. It's all the energy. It's a wash. So you might as well just listen, go to factormeals.com, get you the factor meals. Tyler's doing it. I'm doing it. You're doing it. Lots of people up. We had a female in the chats. I'm not going to out her name because it was a private DM and I didn't ask first, but she was like, look, I'm starting my weight loss journey and I'm starting it off with factor meals and the calorie conscious. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for helping me. She's in the FTS Wolfpack subgroup because we have this FTS_Wolfpack private group on Facebook. You guys can be a part of it. No shenanigans. Actually, all shenanigans on there. No shenanigans in the sense of like, don't go on our private group and be like, well, that's offensive. And like, start, if it's offensive, just move on. It's freedom of speech. Only rule there is if Facebook doesn't like it, then we can't like it because we don't want to get the group removed. So as long as you stay within their Facebook's dumb guidelines, look, make fun of cops, make fun of first responders, make all the dark jokes. The darker, the better. Nobody's going to shame you for it. And if you do start joke shaming, then we're going to shame you for joke shaming. We're not going to kick you out. We're just going to shame you right back. And then if you don't like it, we'll bully you out. And that's why I think shaming and bullying is kind of a good thing because it weeds out people who don't want to be there in the first place. And it makes you change. You either get thicker skin or you fucking move on. So anyway, hit us up in the chats. But hey, listen, for all you guys that are on your weight loss journey, listen, me too. Like you guys saw how fat I was getting. I'm starting to lose a lot of weight. I think I'm down like 14 pounds.
I think I gained your 14.
Did you gain my 14?
I think I did.
No.
I thought.
Well, you lost 14 pounds of hair.
Yeah, I think so. But I think so. Because I got
In a good way, though. In a good way.
I was 227, and when I weighed myself again, I
Damn,
weighed
you gonna put your weight up there?
258. I said, oh yeah.
Oh
I
shit.
think it need to get going.
Well, what
Yeah.
were you wearing when you got back on the scale?
speed
When
on
I
you?
got back on the scale, I was 258.
Yeah, but what were you wearing when you got on the scale?
Good.
Because if you were wearing jeans and a
Yeah,
jacket,
little
No, I
linebacker.
wore
And
some,
shoes.
like stretch pants and a t-shirt. I didn't put my shoes
Oh,
on.
okay.
Yeah.
You got any speed on
And I
you?
was like, what? Ew.
You having the speed? Can you run?
that's like 9. Oh, I thought you meant
No,
speed like the
barely
pills.
walk.
Like those were in the 90s.
No.
Put you as an edge rusher on my Cowboys. We need some help.
Oh my
The female refrigerator. No,
See, there you go. Another joke for your comedy show.
Down. Yeah.
So we got Tyler up in the chats. What does he says before today? Since before Eric even knew he was a podcaster, Ghostbed has been there. Yeah, I mean, they've always been there. We really appreciate it. All right, let's dive into this big story today that we've got. So here let me break it down for you guys. Like, so, listen, it's no surprise. Oh, this is a different story, but this is a good one. Yeah, here we go. So anyway, so here's the thing, right? It's election season. So everything's got to be about race. I don't understand why in 2024 anybody gives a fuck about race anymore. Like literally on your day-to-day, nobody cares about race. It's the only time that you care about race is when you turn on the news. Mainstream media, for whatever reason, never wants to let the race shit go. And they just bring it up. But now it's kind of a twisty turvy here because it's they're trying to make the white people mad at the black people. Here's the scenario. The Kansas City Chiefs had their celebration party and it was interrupted by gang fire by rival gang members or gang affiliates, right? Because if they're not verified, then we can't call them gang members anymore. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're wearing the colors, you're talking the slang, you're doing the shit. You're a fucking gang member. Like, just because you're not verified through the court system doesn't mean but you know what? If I got to
check with the OG to see if he had his membership dues paid up,
right. Can he crip walk? And he's in the fucking gang, But like if I had a rebel flag shirt on, I would automatically be deemed a white supremacist. Whether I was verified or not, the media would be like, that's a white supremacist. He's got a rebel flag on his shirt. Right. So like, I think we should treat the gang members the same way. You're wearing gang colors, then the media should call you a fucking gang member or a gang affiliate. You're still acting like one. But here we go. They won't release any of the names. And listen, I know that you shouldn't be releasing juveniles' names either.
Right.
The argument here is that Kyle Rittenhouse's name, one, he was white, and one, he was 17, two, he was 17, and they released his name immediately. And it was on, he was wearing a Black Rifle Coffee t-shirt, and then they went and found a story about Black Rifle Coffee having one incident of not even racism. It was a piece of art that they found that was just off-putting. And they never even used the art. Somebody submitted it and they didn't use it. And so they try to make this whole thing like Black Rifle Coffee, white supremacists, you know, and then he killed black people, which Kyle Rittenhouse, we know, was white. He shot 2 white people, one being a pedophile. There was no black people involved, and Black Rifle Coffee has nothing to do with racism, but they made the whole Kyle Rittenhouse case about whites versus blacks, even though there was no black people involved in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. But we remember, we still hear Kyle Rittenhouse today, and you think racism.
See, I'm going to tell you why.
Talk into the mic.
I'm going to tell you why.
I know,
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, tell me why.
What we like to do. When I say we as black people.
Okay.
Okay. Not me individually, but as a whole. We like to compare things. Whenever we watch the news and they starting to say a
but I think the news
crime,
does it.
It's just natural that we be like, oh, that couldn't have been no black guy.
But
that couldn't have been no.
That
sound like a
that
white
stopped
dude.
with that shooting. That
Oh
DC
yeah, with
sniper.
the
That
DC
stopped with
sniper.
that.
Yeah,
We was like,
we
what?
a brother did that.
Yeah.
2 of them. What?
So
You know.
Or like the black girl that got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And didn't get kidnapped.
Like
Like
that,
nobody saw that coming.
No, we didn't know nothing like that. But that's what we do. We'll be like, you know, with see, if that was a black man, that daggone had a black kid 17, they would have tried him as an adult. He would have been under the jail right
been
now.
dead.
Yeah. They would have got, and he killed 2 white people too. Oh, they gonna throw the book at him.
Well, I mean, they shot like 22 people in this scenario. Yeah. One of the witnesses
have they
said,
race been? Are they black?
Bro, listen. Now it's starting to come out because some pictures are starting to leak on social media for the event, but the media is not talking about them being black at all. But you know what? But when the mass shooter came out, the media was trying to spin it up as it was like some kind of Taylor Swift, you know, conservative, and they were really kind of leading you believe that this was
everything, don't it?
You know what I mean? They were trying to make it like that it was probably some right wing anti-Taylor Swift activists that went and shot it up, and there were people on TikTok influencers. One of these dudes that has 300-something thousand followers. I made a joke that like somebody didn't tell this guy that these kids were black. Like nobody fucking told this guy before he made this reel that these are black kids, not white dudes, because he did a whole thing saying that he knew that they were white people, and I can just take a guess that these white people, these MAGA white Republicans who can't take Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift's Kansas City Chiefs winning, and I was like, okay, so you said all that, so now all your fans think that some white anti-Taylor Swift racist went and shot up Kansas City, but when the truth is that it was like, I don't know, 8 to 10 black dudes, black teens wearing gang colors. One report from a witness said that the black kid was running away, shooting back behind his head while he ran away. We got 22 people that was shot in this mass shooting. Listen, and here's the thing though. We do have a gang problem in the United States. Kansas City has a record number. This is a crazy stat. I looked it all up. Kansas City has a record homicide rate this year. And guess who's at the top of the food chain of being homicided? Black people being shot and murdered. Guess who's killing them?
Black people.
Other fucking black people, right? And then the only other percentage that comes close to the black percentage is the percentage called other. So you have white, Asian, Hispanic, black, and other. Black and other lead the pack, which I don't know what other is.
Probably mix.
Mix.
You know,
Pacific.
but here's the thing, and it's not a black thing. It's not. They're not killing people because they're black. They're killing people because they're gang indoctrinated. Because we don't talk bad about gangs anymore. Like you should be ashamed if you're in a gang. You know why people don't wear rebel flags in grocery stores or put it on the back of their cars? Because they'll get shamed everywhere they go. Yeah. People will talk shit. People will say something. I mean, you'd be like, man, like if somebody wore a swastika to the Food Lion and you saw it, I'm sure you would say something. I would probably say something.
I wouldn't say nothing. Just
but you give them a side eye.
I mean, I'll see it, but I'll keep an eye on them so they would, if they about to do something crazy,
right?
Because I don't have that malice in my heart
right. But if you see a gang member in the store, do you feel the same way?
Yeah,
wearing the gang colors, you keep an eye on them.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
Yeah, I would.
We see them every day.
Yeah,
people wear gang colors every single day, and nobody gives a fuck about
what
it.
I'm saying though, I'm talking about if it's out there. I done been in the store standing there and guys come in, pants hanging off their ass with the bandana. What's up, blood? You know, talking to other cats.
Yeah.
I'm looking around them. You know, they look at me and tell that
But
I'm
you're
an
a cop
older
too.
guy. They know I'm an older guy. But I keep, I just keep, don't
But people
look at me
tolerate.
like,
People
but I
tolerate it though.
keep-
Like you go around the grocery store, people tolerate it. They still serve them at the grocery store because, like, you can be a full gang member, go into any restaurant, sit down. They're still going to serve you.
Yeah.
I bet you go into a fucking restaurant wearing some kind of rebel flag or swastika, they ain't going to serve you your ass. They're not going to fucking tolerate it.
I think they'll serve you with the rebel flag, but not necessarily the swastika. But a lot of gang members go to certain stores. I try not to go to hood stores because that's where a lot of people be.
Right.
I'm sitting one day sitting like I was.
But
at
like Walmart.
have a handgun stuck in his butt, and I'm like, why am I at this store? I'm at the store because I'm taking somebody else. So I'm like, certain places I don't go, because it does bother me if I see that that's what. I mean, you can have on all blue and not be a gang member, but the bandana thing tells it more, and then the way your attitude.
Sure, your attitude. So, like, but if we shamed people for being in gangs the same way that we shame people from wearing a swastika, because how many people with how many swastika wearing people kill other people versus gang members? The number would be insurmountable.
Right.
Gang members kill way more because there ain't all the people that have swastikas are living in their trailer parks and are staying hidden because they know if they shoot anybody or if they commit any crime, they're getting charged with a hate crime no matter what. Like if they punch somebody, they're going to get charged with a hate crime. If you're a gang member and you do gang shit, you should be charged the same way and you should be treated the same way by society. And then you know what? You wouldn't want to be in a gang anymore because you're like, well, I kind of like going to restaurants and not being chastised. I kind of like to do this, but if you empower gang members, like these motorcycle clubs, I didn't know this until social media, but you can't pass a motorcycle club on your own motorcycle without asking permission. That's fucking stupid. So
they have to kick my ass.
Oh, and what they do, and they wreck you. They wreck you. They follow you to the gas station. They tip your bike over, and they do all this bullying stuff. It's all over TikTok. Yeah, the Hells Angels, all these fucking Mongols guys.
They
all
better
these
have guns because it's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, that's what I say, dude. I was like, let one of these losers do that shit. I'll shoot all of them. Like, like you know what I mean? I guarantee you, I'm better trained, and will fight with all my might. So I hope it's worth it to you. But like it's crazy. Like all of these gang members, these patched riders, even blood members, gang crip member, all these, they should be ostracized from society. Like you should be looked down upon, and almost like those people with the squatted trucks. Like nobody takes them seriously. Everybody thinks you're a fucking loser. If you're wearing a gang shit, you should be the same kind of a loser as these squatted truck fucking losers.
They might not necessarily not want to be in a gang anymore. They might just stop wearing the, you know what I'm saying?
Well, good.
Yeah, but still, they still who they are.
I mean, it's the older gang members do that.
Well, I'm scared.
Because they'll be the ones that will tell
don't wanna go
the
back to
youngest,
jail.
they'll be like, hey, go to school, get your education. They say stuff like that.
They ain't saying it hard
but
enough, though.
they're not the younger ones. It's the younger ones who comes out and think that, initiation is you got to go rob a store. You got to, you got to get jumped in. They're going to beat you, physically beat you in. And if you want to leave the game, you got to get beat out or die.
So let me get your opinion on this article before we close out the night here. This is from Fox News, my first article from Fox News. Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas accused Missouri Governor Mike Parson of using a racial dog whistle when referring to the suspected shooters at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl party parade as thugs. Now, listen, before I go into my rant here, is it racist to call a black person a thug? If they are dressed like a thug or acting like a thug, is it any different than calling a white kid a thug? Because I think there are white thugs out there. Is thug in the essence of saying thug, is it racist? Is that a race? Is that a dog whistle term?
I'm gonna tell you a joke that I just did. It was off the top of the head, crowd play.
Okay.
And when Heather announced me, she said he was military, U.S. Army veteran. The crowd, yay!
Mm-hmm.
He was a retired police officer turned comedian. And when they said cop, the police kind of got a little quiet. And then they said comedian, they picked up right. So when I came out, hugged her, grabbed the microphone, I did a little thing. I said, hold up. I said, some of y'all, I ain't like how some of y'all acted or the response I got. When I went military, y'all, hoorah, hoorah. And when I was a police officer, y'all, and then y'all said comedian, y'all got back up. But I said, look, I said, ma'am, you don't have to sit there like that with your purse clutching your purse. I'm not a thug. Didn't you hear? She said I was a police officer. You think I'm a thug, don't you? You know, like that. And they laughed their ass off.
For sure.
So I did use the term
Thug. Yeah.
And, you know, thug. And
I'm just like, I'm not giving anybody, not the black community, not the Asian community, I'm not giving you guys any more racial terms. Like, fuck you. You can have N-word because of like hundreds and hundreds of years of slavery. I get it. That was bad. I'll give you the N-word. I'm not giving you any more words. I'm not, you can't take thug away from me. You can't take all these other terms. Like, how else do I describe somebody that's walking around with their pants sagging around their ass, fucking bandana hanging out, then flicking off cars as they walking by? So, what else do I call them?
Call them a citizen.
Fuck no, I'm not going to call them a citizen.
That's what they are. They're
Act
a citizen.
Like they're a thug citizens, what they are.
They are citizens.
They're a thug.
Citizen.
And you want to act like a thug, I'm gonna call you out on
I got a
it.
question. When you say flicking off cars, you mean cops or cars?
Any car. You see the thugs at the gas station, they walking around, they all do you know what a thug acts like. You fucking know.
It's their language.
Fuck them.
It's their language that they taught each other.
And same with them dumb redneck, like when the honkies are like, their little belt buckles, and you're doing your fucking, all their bullshit. They're dumb rednecks.
so
like
my
if you're
son-
gonna act like a dumb redneck,
So
you're
my
gonna.
son is a honky because he got a.
No, does he act like a honky?
I don't know. He's a cowboy.
Oh, Will Cray in our chats, he acts like a honky all the time. I met him.
him.
I'm just saying, if you want to act like a dumb redneck, and the dumb rednecks are the ones that squat their trucks or have like the big fucking tires on their real piece of shit truck that they don't even go hunting. Those are just dumb rednecks. And on the reverse side,
But see,
the thugs are the ones that do it to their car.
but see,
Same thing.
Beyonce came out with 2 pretty good country songs. Do that make her a country star? No. Are you going? You hear it? Oh, this tight. You got to play.
I saw
Listen to one of her and people. John Snyder came out and famous Dukes of Hazzard star John Snyder, who played Bo Duke, came out and called her a dog or something. Said,
he didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it, but he voiced it, basically saying pretty much in a nutshell, he didn't think a black female should be singing.
Well, no, that's racist.
But he don't exactly.
That's
and
racist.
a lot of people got upset. It was like, damn, we used to like you, Bo.
Yeah, but you know what? Black people can get mad at white people for rapping. Is that not racist?
Say it again.
Black people can get mad at white people for. There's a lot of black people that didn't like Eminem
You
rapping.
can do it. You can do it.
But see,
That's racist
but
too.
see-
You know what I'm saying? So there's like racist
but
black
see,
people, racist
country
white people.
music, if people go into the history, deep into the history, black people
Probably started it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a whole bunch of
it goes way back.
country
Yeah.
music.
Cornbread and
They
butter
sound-
beans,
they-
and you cross the table. Cake the
I got
music.
beans and bologna.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I heard a whole bunch of
We should start a band.
country. Huh?
We should start a band.
Hey, we can do it now. But country black guys and when I see them, I'm like, huh? Because I'm thinking you sound just you have that twang or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't get mad with somebody because they can rap. They can do it. They can do it.
Right. I mean, like Joel Patrick, he's a black dude. He sings country. And he's an influencer. So there you go. So anyway, Lucas made the comment during an appearance on a local radio show called Up to Date on Friday. He told KCUR host Steve Karsk that he has seen similar incidents of alleged racism time and time again. Following the shooting, a person had said, "We can't let some thugs just take over and ruin what happened." I agree with that. Like you can't allow thug behavior. Just like you can't allow dumb rednecks to go peeling out up and down the beach and causing a hazard when I just want to sit there and drink my pina coladas and let my kids build sandcastles. I can't do that if you're going to be honking around in your stupid fucking truck, blasting your stupid rap country music that sucks. We all know it, with your big giant Trump flag hanging out the back. It's obnoxious. Nobody likes you and nobody thinks you're fucking cool. And I don't want them taking over my beach. But at the same time, I don't want thugs, which are far more dangerous because they're actually shooting fucking people.
Thug is a noun. It describes person, place, or thing.
Yeah, and thug can also be a verb. This is where thug activities, thuggish activities. Listen, I have respect for the governor. We get along, Lucas told Cars. I disagree strongly on how we would describe the situation. I certainly do think this was a criminal activity. It was lawlessness. Now, I think it's crazy, though, and I think a lot of white people are upset about this. And again, it's more race baiting from the news, and it's because the news portrayed this to be another white crime of white terrorism and anti-Trump MAGA terrorism, and they still have not come out and released that, hey, folks, these were black gang members. They won't say it. They just simply won't say it. The only people that are talking about it are podcasters, and apparently this governor here. But it's really getting no traction until today. Today is the first that we've seen of it. Now we're 4 or 5 days post this whole situation, and I think, and listen, that's what they want us to do, is they want us to feel divided. But I think if you want society to get better, if you want things to get better, you have to get rid of the violent individuals who are abusing the system. And thugs are far outweigh any other abuser of the system. I mean, there's not another group of people besides the gangs that are creating that kind of violence across the country. I mean, if you look at the stats of the shootings, it's all gang related, but they won't even say that on the stats. The stats right now, as they come out in 2023 4, you know what they call gang altercations now? Arguments, and it's under the statistics of arguments and altercations, but they won't say that it's gang on gang violence. You know what I mean? Because they don't want us to be mad. We should be mad collectively, blacks and whites, of gang activity. Stop killing people. Stop killing black people. How about that? Like, you know what I mean? If 58% of black people are being murdered of all the murders in Kansas City, then
Eric, it starts at home.
It starts at
home. If the parents teach their kids, be strict on their kids, be in their lives, the kids would not seek gang activity.
100%.
I don't care. You could be a single parent, and I've seen some strong mothers who play mama and daddy and keep their kids in line. They go straight to high school, to college, and they get out and they live productive lives, family of their own.
They say we don't even have that. Like, we don't have any family dynamic. Remember we have Family Matters, kind of help you learn some parenting skills. We had all these shows. We ain't got any of that shit anymore. Now, if you watch any of these shows, it's the mom and the dad arguing, or they're already divorced, and it's destroying the family, the nuclear family, which is causing kids to do more of this violent shit.
My kids joke at me all the time, Daddy, you watch Good Times, you watch them old stories. But I seen an episode of Good Times where JJ was forced to go to a rumble in Chicago, because this took place in Chicago. He was forced to join the gang.
Yeah.
And they was forcing him to go to meet with the other gang. Right. They were gonna have a shootout fight, and if you die, you die. Well, James and Florida met them out on the street and was like, "Hold up, Junior, what y'all doing? Why y'all holding him like that?" And he got to talking. Mad Dog got to talking junk, and and James stepped in. He said, "My son ain't going to no gang fighting nowhere." That father, he stepped up, and old boy tried to shoot James, and JJ jumped in front of him, caught the bullet, but he was there to stop him.
Yeah.
He was there. My son ain't going no gang.
Right.
JJ Junior, what you doing? They made me. They chose me, Dad. I didn't choose them.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You gonna go?" He said, "Mad Dog, you don't get your hands. I'm gonna slap a muzzle on your ass."
I seen some of that on social media, which don't matter to me because people marry who they want to marry. But it was a picture of James, a white lady, and 2 little brown babies, and it was like, I've been lied to all my life, and I was like, which I didn't know whether he was married to, but I guess because you're so used to seeing him in the
that's another
TV.
That's right.
But see,
because he played Roots, he was in Roots. He was Kunta Kinte's daddy in Roots.
His name was Toby.
No,
his name was Toby.
What was up? Yeah, no, it was Kunta Kinte.
No,
wait, huh?
His name was Toby.
I thought Kunta Kinte was the dude.
He was. We're talking about Kunta Kinte's daddy.
Right.
Is James.
So which is Toby?
No, Toby is Kinte Kunte.
Who was James? Who was James?
James was Kunta Kinte when he was older.
Gotcha.
Because his daughter name was Kizzy. Remember, he held him up and he prayed to God.
Damn, man, we need to watch Roots again.
Oh man, I know it. I seen it. Chicken Joe, whatever.
I watched it one time, and that was.
Dude, they used to play it every Black History Month. Yeah, every night on Black History Month on TV at Turner Broadcasting System when I was growing up, man.
But the thing is,
my kids never seen.
It's again, people can't separate, just like being police officers. People cannot separate the man from the badge. When I'm in the unit, people are like, "Hey man, you don't know me." I'm another black dude talk to me and try to talk junk to me because I wear the blue. I wear the uniform.
Right.
I'm a black man first. I'm gonna be a black man. I came in. I was a black man before I became a policeman. I'm gonna be one when I'm not a policeman. So treat me as a black man.
You're black?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now, if you stay out too long, when like you say, you be black when we die. If you stop too long, you're gonna turn white.
I know, ain't it something?
It's just like that's weird, ain't it?
What?
Because if you stop too long, you're gonna turn black.
Really, y'all turn white?
And you turn black. I mean, y'all, yeah.
That's weird.
You stop too long, you turn. I seen a guy. He was white. He was going one of my friend's sister.
When a black person dies, they get white.
Yes, I think they
get
no lotion and nothing on them.
They get gray.
Ashy. Yeah.
I wrote up one time. I wrote up well, I didn't write it up. The dude I was with, Scott. You know, I don't know, we went to a scene. It actually came up in court because they were kind of trying to show that he was incompetent because he wrote the victim as a white woman and she was black. But when he saw her, she was dead.
She been dead a while.
No, but she'd slit her own throat and her wrist, and she'd lost. She actually didn't die. She ended up bleeding out. But when he got there, he wrote her. They transported her so fast, but because she was so she lost so much blood and her skin appearance was like grayish that he thought she was a white chick. So she
must have been light complexion or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, she wasn't much lighter than you are.
And she was white. Right.
She was gray when she died. Well, when she was coding out, enough that he wrote it that she was a white female. She ended up being the suspect because she killed her baby. And then when they went to court, they were like, "You got the wrong one."
On police reports, like Hispanic, if she was a light-skinned Hispanic, we would put white. And if they were dark-skinned Hispanic, we put black.
I know when I worked at the jail, they put them as white. And I'm like, so it looks like, oh, you got just an equal amount of black and white in the jail when you really have more
Hispanics.
Right, you had blacks.
But see, I mean, that's that's kind of going back to this whole thing that everybody's really messed about. Like, because I was trying to get in all these statistics, they have bastardized or retarded statistics in such a way because they don't want the truth. They don't want people to know that black people are killing each other in crazy numbers that it's really alarming. Like if you look at Kansas City's murder rate, it's a lot of people and it's a lot of black people. And then you times that times Chicago, times Jacksonville, Florida, times some of these other bigger cities. That's a lot of fucking black people dying and not a lot of white people dying. And listen, you guys are only like 12% of the population anyway.
Well, I mean,
you're taking statistics.
Black people kill they own because that's who they are with.
They're fighting with, right?
We're not gonna go to a predominantly white neighborhood,
right? But if 50%,
we're gonna kill in our own neighborhood.
If 58% or 48% of homicides in one city the victims are black, and the suspects in homicides are like over 50%, that's a pretty big number. But then they've added other down there, which makes that number go up even higher. Yeah, here's the police stats that he brought up here. But they won't really put it out that way because like what my philosophy is, my Tanstradamus theory is they don't want to fix that problem. And if I'm a black person, I'm asking why. Why don't you want to fix that? Why don't you want black people to stop killing each other in such a massive amount, like a massive number? Again, if 48% of the homicides in one area are done by black people are victims, and then 50% of the homicides are done by black people, that's a massive part of a population. When you take up a very small part of it, but we won't put that number out there because that's racist. I think it's more racist to let black people die. So why shockingly, these are Democrat-run cities. In Republican states sometimes, but then they'll say, well, these Republican states have the gun problem. Well, do they have the Republican? Probably, because if all the crime is being committed in Kansas City, which is a Democrat-run city, and that's where all the murders are happening, then what's the statistic there, and how do you want to fix it?
You support Trump.
Well, that's right.
I said I am voting.
Yeah, and then listen. She comes in here tonight.
Supporting means I'm gonna have a hat and all the shirt and all that stuff, and I'm be saying Democrats suck. And I know I am supporting what his proposal plan is.
But you also came in here 2 weeks ago. You come out on the show as being a Trump voter, a pro-Trump voter, and then we were off last week. And then you come in here this week and you've got a concealed carry permit for us to sign off on.
And I'm a skinhead.
And you're a skinhead. Like you've gone full conservative.
But I was already going to have because I already had my gun and stuff. I just want to be able to, and I don't want to walk around like, hey, I got a gun. I want to be able to protect myself. I hope I don't ever have to use it other than the shooting range. But
you might have used who you voting for.
no, I'm just not. I mean,
Tell some other black people you vote.
it's a whole lot of people vote for him. They ain't saying nothing. They hiding it. They be like, oh, I am too.
Yeah.
You know, they think it's a personal thing. But I done tried. When you tried everything else, they say try Jesus. Well, I tried Jesus, but in the natural, I've tried Democrat all my life, and the reason I was a Democrat was because that I was told the Democrats for the people, Republican is for the rich people. That's the only thing I ever been explained, and I just went with it. Everybody I was around was Democrat, Democrat.
You went to your bank, black.
And then I went to what?
Democrat. You went to your bank and got
black. And then I thought about it. I'm like, why am I? You know, they was like, Republicans want you to get food stamps. It's a mindset. So you said my food stamps, and I had a mindset one time where I was like, well, dang, if I get a job, they're gonna cut my food stamps off, or they're gonna raise my rent. Why not just get a better job that I don't have to worry about food stamps or. Food stamps are nice to have, but I'm just saying I would never want to go.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Listen, and I, I'm not going to go down the weeds on that because we're in Area 13. But listen, I think most Republicans, although they vote for more stringent rules on those kinds of things, I think the new modern day Republican, especially the younger generation, meaning myself, I think are more apt to wanting more social services. Like we understand the need of social services, like food stamps, like
right. But it should be more strict. Like you can't be on drugs and get, or you need to be made to go to a rehab, and then when you come out, you can get it. But if you own it and you selling them, you doing that stuff, whatever stuff. Not talking about y'all, some whatever.
But if you're still committing crimes and you're all your shit's paid for, like that's a problem. But that's a different conversation for a different day. Yeah. We go on all night. But hey, listen, guys, we've had a great show today. Hit us up on the social media webs. Let us know what you guys think. There should be a movement, man. There should be a movement where we chastise gang members and where we make it very shameful to be in a gang. And the gang members should feel just like these race, what do you call them? Nazis or whatever. It should be so shameful that you don't wear your Nazi symbolism and you hide in your trailer in the backwoods in the middle of nowhere and are kind of forgotten about. That's the way it should be for gang members as well. They should be so shamed and bullied that they don't want to be in a gang. And if you're a parent out there and your kids are even trying to look like they're in the gang, you should be like, you look real fucking stupid. You look like a real idiot right now, and you're not. I raised you better. Pull your pants up, tighten your belt, and take that stupid flag out of your pocket. But hey, listen, that's just me, a C+ student, C- student at best. So what do I know, guys? For myself, comedian and former cop Jay Darrell, white comedian Margaret Owens, and myself, Eric Tansey. This has been Uncuffed, all the society and culture news to get you through the week. We'll be back here tomorrow with True Crime Tuesday and then Political News Wednesday. Follow us on Patreon for more extra content. We got a lot of stuff coming up on that way. We'll see you guys.
I want to lick your head for real.
Oh, yeah, lick that head.
Lick your head.